Last time on Corpse Party, Book of Shadows. Oh my god. Oh no! He came through the secret passage, didn't he? My vision whirled, and I felt a sensation of falling. I could see my body. Whatever was on my back had dug her razor-sharp fingernails right into my eyes! To cause a pencil had pierced deep into my throat. Oh my god. Greetings, my beautiful viewers! I am the Hunter of Comedy, and welcome back to Corpse Party, Book of Shadows. So, last time we got all the bad endings that I missed before, so now that we're all caught up on how sad everything is, we're going into Purgatory, which I don't think is going to be any better. But I am eager to see what's going to happen. Our friendship will last forever. It will never die. My mind was in a daze. The lights on the ceiling were spinning, moving in and out of one another, alternating between hazy and distinct and forming spiral patterns in my eyelids. I was being jerked along the ground by my legs like a heavy sack of rocks. I could feel every step he took vibrate across my entire body. But I couldn't do anything to stop it. I could no longer move of my own accord. I just kept getting dragged, inch by inch, across that filthy floor. Then eventually he stopped and threw me down. I rolled hard onto my face. I was helpless before him. Ooh, that piece of chocolate had fallen out of my pocket. I was pretty sure it did anyway. I wasn't about to let anyone else have it. Give it back, you bastard! The large man took my crumpled form and roughly flipped me back over by the legs, as if I were nothing more than a doll to him. I was facing him from the middle of the hallway as he readied his enormous hammer and looked right into my eyes. Was this it? Was I going to be killed now? Please, God, no. I was terrified, but not entirely. After all, she's coming to save me. Naho's coming. I know she is. She'll always come. She's my friend. Oh. Book of Shadows number 4, Purgatory. Oh, they're at some kind of concert, it looks like. My name is Sayaka Oe. I'm a junior at Polonia Academy High School. I'm just a normal girl, but my job conflicts with my studies, so I don't go to school all that often. And this was the first day I'd had free in a while, so I called out my friend Naho and we spent the whole day together having a blast. The last event on our schedule was a Twinkle Girls concert. They played every so often at a local venue called Club Beta. And they're also incredibly cute. I try to catch them whenever I can. Recently, Twinkle had been performing on evening request shows, and they've been getting more and more attention. As well they should, you know? I joined them on the program a few times myself, and the group and I like to keep in touch through tweets and texts. Aww. Again, they make me happy just to destroy my happiness. I know they're gonna... no! My microphone fell over, hold on. Yeah, you guys just listen to the music while I fix the microphone. It's fine. There we go. Microphone is fixed. Hooray. My eyes met with Naho's and we put our hands in the air, like we just didn't care. So cute! Thanks, Sayaka. Twinkle's the best. I think I'm in love. Right? Aren't they awesome? I mean, their moves in that last song. Oh, I remember. Check it. Check this out. Whoa, you've got it down, girl. Though I think your hip movements are a teensy bit off. Outside Club Beta after the show, fans were hanging around the street corner, immersed in the lingering rhythm of the music. I just wanted to ride that wave myself, but didn't like the idea of blocking the road in the process, so Naho and I just pranced our way back to the station. This is before Naho was all, like, dead-eyed and everything. Creepy. Well, not creepy, just thinking about, like, how she's gonna be in the future. Hey, check it out! I bought a towel! Naho began waving around a towel she'd bought at the merchandise booth after the show. She looked like a matador taunting a pop idol. The new #1 fan, that's excellent! I'll have to buy one next time myself. Well, it's still only number 9. Hey, Sayaka, what say we drop by Gus on the way back? Come on, let's get ourselves some sweets to eat. Sounds pretty sweet to me. Lead on. Give me a strawberry milk flan special, please. Whatever it was Naho had ordered, it sounded completely alien to me. The heck is that? Sounds super sugary. Something that'll put me in 7th heaven, that's what. It's covered in milk and ridiculously delicious. This is Naho Seinoki. We're in the same school, same year, same class. Our backgrounds are kind of similar and, well, we talk all the time and eat together and stuff. But most of all, just look how cute she is. When we're together, she even makes a gal like me all wobbly. I love this little lady. She is pretty adorable. I mean, but before she became super evil. Point is, it's good, and you're welcome to try some of it if you'd like. Why, thank you. As for me, I believe I'll go with the butterful pancakes. Coming right up. They do say girls shouldn't ingest a lot of calories after a night at night, but hell, we hadn't eaten anything all day, so I figured why not indulge a little? Yeah, you only live once, right? La 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 la. Naho was gazing longingly at her towel while singing the melody to one of Twinkle's songs. She's usually a really cool and collected person, so I bet our classmates would flip out if they saw her like this. It was only when the two of us were alone together that she let loose with this feline-like personality of hers, and it always made me feel really special. You sure seem like you had a great time. I'm glad you could join me. Naho slowly raised her head and looked into my eyes, and wow, what a gaze that girl had. Felt like I could lose myself in those perfect peepers. Ha-ha! Something wrong? I'm worried about you, Sayaka. You haven't been getting enough rest lately, have you? I completely hidden my fatigue, but Naho somehow saw right through me. I could never keep anything from her. Yeah, I haven't really had weekends these last 2 months. Voice acting, soap operas, online radio. Yeah, I can definitely see the problem. But you're one to talk, though. Radio, ghost hunts, and... Oh yeah, aren't you supposed to be in a movie, too? Totally jelly, by the way. I'm just an extra. I'll be sitting behind, Takumu Saito eating French food. Hooray for me. I didn't announce that yet, though. Where'd you hear about it? On Mr. Taguchi's blog, of course. He wrote a ton about it, all in bold face. He told everybody to cheer you as loud as they could. Oy vey. Her expression twisted into an exaggerated blah pose as she sprawled across the table. Something I actually, I just want to point this out here. If she's under an NDA, which a lot of actors are when they do these sort of things, if she told, the this person that she like, obviously is in love with because of how, like, we played the previous games, we know. And he starts blogging about it online, she could get in, like, a lot of trouble. You can't say anything around that guy. For a while, I gazed at Naho, who had placed her chin on the table and puffed out her cheeks. Not sure how to break the silence, I tried switching subjects. It's obvious that this Sayaka girl really likes, Naho, possibly even romantically. Oh, hey Naho, for my next radio show, I'm doing a special on scary stories. The deflated Naho suddenly reinflated. Guess I'd piqued her interest. You've got a great voice, and I'd love to have you as a guest speaker. You can be my expert, commenting on ghost stories submitted by listeners. Her head still glued to the table, and Naho fell deep into thought. She seemed oddly concerned. I couldn't miss the momentary twinkle in her eye, though. Success. I just needed to rebait the line, and she was as good as caught. Come on, please, for me! My listeners know we're friends, and I get a lot of messages asking me why you haven't been on the show yet. You'd be a big hit for sure. More than anything, I really just want to see what it's like to co-host a show with my bestest buddy, Naho. Meow. Oh, she mewed. She's showing interest. Oh. Wouldn't take much to get her to pounce on this old yarn now. So she had this... This is a side of Naho I've literally never seen before. This is so weird to me, but I love it. I love seeing, like, a different side to this character that I've pretty much, like, distrusted and hated for so long. Like, every time I've seen Naho before this, like, I've been like, whoa, I don't trust her. She's creepy. But now I'm like, oh, this is her before she was super cray-cray. Interesting. She even had, like, a cat-like personality. That's adorable. Oh my good God! Are you kidding me? Meow. Come on. Meow. This is a thing that just sort of happened between us sometimes. She'd turn into a cat and I'd play the part of her master. There's some fancy cat food in it for you if you say yes. What's that supposed to mean exactly? I'll treat you to Cafe Quill Fénon. Sound good? Ooh! Naho's face lit up. Okay, I'll do it. Yeah, thank you, I love you, Naho. Meow. Why are you hissing at me? I did it. I'd gotten the green light. My smile couldn't have been bigger at that moment. Naho's popularity had exploded recently, so she'd been having a hard time managing all the requests she'd been getting to appear on other radio shows. I've been hoping to get a chance to tie our work together at some point, but I never imagined it'd be this easy. So with that out of the way, we sat back and enjoyed the hell out of our butterful pancakes and strawberry milk flan special. And before we knew it, it was past 10. Naho and I stood up and started down the road home, giggling and chatting the whole way. So, Naho, when are you going to school again? Planned on it tomorrow. I've been ditching class a lot for work, but they said I should at least show up to hand in my report. Oh, okay. You're going to have to turn it in too, you know. They'll be asking for it next time you're there. Really? Well, whatever. It's just a report. It'll work itself out if I stay up all night. There's this weird thing I've noticed with Naho's models. Like, like 1 second, like, her model is, like, closer to the ground, and then other times it's higher up. Like now, the model is noticeably higher. Like, it's weird. It's like they positioned the sprite higher up for some reason, and I don't know why. Oh, hey, you want to stop in and grab Kibiki's new book? You've been dying to read it, right? And his place is on the way, so... Oh, yes, please! Right this way then, madam. Or madame. That's probably what I should have said. Oh well. Naho's house was literally on the way home for me. Or rather, Mr. Kibiki's house, since that's where she'd been staying for the last little while. That was a nice place. Due to various circumstances, Naho had been commuting to school from here rather than living with her parents. Supposedly, she'd moved in to study under Mr. Kibiki like his Padawan, but she was always willing to go that extra mile, and I always admired that about her. Kibiki, I'm home. Welcome back. Not too cold out, I trust? Nah. Oh, hello! You must be... I was nervous as he looked me over, but he had very kind eyes, and man, was he ever hot. Like old-school Japanese-style hot. Not gonna deny, he's got some good fashion sense. Plus he has hair, a thing I haven't had for years. I'm jealous. It's not fair. Good evening. It's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Sayaka Oe. I bowed quickly, and Mr. Kibiki flashed a gentle smile. I'm Kibiki. Thanks for always looking after Naho. She talks about you quite a lot. I'm so glad. I've always heard a lot about you, Mr. Kibiki. A laundry list of failed publications, no doubt. Oh no, that's not true at all. Hey, Sayaka, since you're here, why don't you stay for tea or something? Kibiki bought some really amazing second flush, Darjeeling. Well... I kind of felt like I was being put on the spot. I mean, it was already late, and I doubted Mr. Kibiki was too keen on playing host. You don't mind, do you, Kibiki? Of course not. Though you'd best give your family a call and let them know you're here. You wouldn't want them to worry, after all. Thank you very much. I hope this isn't too much trouble. Please, make yourself at home. Dude's got a killer smile. It was easy to see why Naho got so into him. Alright then. Come on in. Okay. In front of Kibiki, Naho returned to her usual cool self. After calling home, I passed nervously through the living room, feeling a bit like I was imposing. But what a living room it was. The furnishings were a fusion of Japanese and Vietnamese styles, and everything just looked really posh and inviting. This place is incredible! Go ahead and leave your bag over there. And please, get comfortable. I'll put on the Darjeeling. Oh, thank you very much. Thanks, Kibiki. It's no problem at all. I was looking to drink some myself, in fact. Kibiki then disappeared into another room, his smile never once fading. A total dreamboat all the way. Naho gestured for me to sit, so I cautiously plopped myself down on an expensive-looking sofa. Whoa, I'm sinking! Sayaka, just relax, okay? I'm going to go hit the little girl's room. Okay, I'll be napping here when you get back. Go for it! Naho began walking out of the room, chuckling at my swiftly sinking form. Mere moments later, though... Ah! That sure caught me by surprise. Turned in the direction of the scream, concerned. God, Taguchi, lock the damn door when you're in there! Sorry, Naho! Heard the door slam shut with incredible force. So that was the infamous Mr. Taguchi, huh? No love lost between those two, it seemed. The nerve of that guy! Having peeked out to check on Naho, Mr. Kibiki again withdrew his wide-eyed face to the kitchen, laughing softly. I swear I could look at him all day. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's... See, this is what I normally think of when I think of Naho. Is like, holy shit, she evil. But, I mean, like, yeah... Trying to savor every single droplet of the deep crimson liquid in my cup, I slowly and carefully imbibed the tea that was placed before me. Whatever blend Kibiki had brewed bore a flavor unlike anything else I'd ever tasted. It's
It's wonderful.
Excellent. I'm glad you like it.
It's got such a complex taste and aroma. I always thought all black tea was the same, but then at my house, we only have the kind that comes in tea bags.
There's nothing wrong with tea that comes in bags. It's quite good these days, in fact. This is just the way I'm used to drinking it. It really is delicious, Mr. Kibiki.
Isn't it about time for you to go home, Taguchi?
Oh, come on, Naho, don't be like that. Taguchi may have been her elder, but he was completely outmatched by Naho. Those two had a pretty fascinating relationship all their own. I do like that, she is, teasing him. She's not seriously trying to bully him and everything, and, I kind of thought maybe that was the case, but I mean, it seems that, Taguchi genuinely, they were genuinely friends, which I like. Actually, I do have a rental video to return by the end of the day, so I guess I should be leaving after all.
More porn?
What? No! What do you mean by more? Anyway, if you'll excuse me.
Techno break, death by FAP!
Naho faced Mr. Taguchi and posed as if she were shooting a beam of light at him, like some kind of legally unnameable masked hero. Legally unnameable masked hero. I get it. I'll see you tomorrow, Mr. Kibiki. You too, Naho.
Actually, I'm going to school tomorrow, so no, you won't.
Oh, really? That's a surprise.
You just keep on keeping on, Taguchi. Rock those 29 years of insubstantial accomplishments.
Man, you're ruthless. Taguchi staggered to the door and vanished into the outside world, utterly defeated. Watching from next to me, Mr. Kibiki simply waved his hand and smiled.
I should probably get going too. Thank you very much for your hospitality.
My pleasure. I'm sorry we couldn't offer you any more.
Oh, please. Well, Taguchi's gone. He's got a pretty good head start, so I don't think you have to worry about running into him. Wow, you are ruthless.
You're welcome back anytime. Please, be careful on your way home.
Thank you so much for everything. Have a good night.
I stepped out from Kibiki's lovely home and Naho walked me to the corner. The air felt crisp and cool against my cheeks. It had been a positively lovely day all around. Before parting ways, I lent Naho one of the Twinkle CDs I had in my bag. Then we hugged, and I began the short walk back to my own house. Thank you, Naho. This case you discovered with Heavenly Host Elementary, it's absolutely remarkable. If our investigation bears fruit, this could very well turn the world of occult research on its head. It's too good to pass up. Daddy's not breathing. Oh, what? I'm playing as Naho now.
Just a dream. I have to write this down.
Secret Ground Investigation File, K Prefecture. Heavenly Host Elementary, currently under investigation. Further progress. Encountered fierce spiritual resistance while simply researching the Shinozaki estate. Right side of body paralyzed, left eardrum ringing. Orbs visible in photographs. Influence confirmed. Severe dizziness, nausea, bloody BM experience. Symptoms persist for weeks. And unrelenting nightmares on top of that. This really is way too dangerous for them. Kibiki and Taguchi don't know how to protect themselves from spirits. They shouldn't go at all.
My name is Naho Seinoki. I travel the country investigating reports of haunted locations, assuaging clients' fears, and doing whatever I can to help them. Recently, strange and unpleasant things began happening to me. I've been investigating a certain haunted ground for the last month, and encountered a malevolent will more powerful than anything I'd expected. I attributed this to the paper doll I brought back with me, of the sort commonly used in curses. No doubt a bad idea, but invaluable for research. This is the reason I hesitated when Sayaka asked me to be on her radio show at the restaurant earlier. Ghost stories can actually provoke the spirits involved in them. I was afraid that whatever entity had latched onto me might have some negative effect on Sayaka as well. Fortunately, aside from wreaking havoc on my physiology, this spirit didn't seem to be affecting those around me in any way. If I could just keep it under control, I was certain my appearance on Sayaka's radio show would go off without a hitch. Kibiki? I'd gone to the kitchen for a glass of water, and though I hadn't noticed on my way down, I saw Kibiki fast asleep on the living room sofa as I headed back. Kibiki, you're going to catch a cold, you know. Kibiki? Sound asleep. Oh, Kibiki, you're so cute. Kibiki had pulled an all-nighter last night, so I was pretty sure he'd sleep well into the afternoon. Here we go. A nice warm blanket for you. Sweet dreams. Oh, like I said, it's nice to see this other side of Naho. Spirit research is a decidedly dangerous field. Numerous people have warned me not to get in too deep. So why did I do it? For Kibiki, of course. If Kibiki could make progress on his occult novel through my research, if he could succeed in all his endeavors, then no price would be too high, I felt. No, you... Whenever someone says no price is too high, they never think the price may be paid by other people. Because, for example, it's like, no price is too high. Great, your friend Sayaka's gonna die. Wait, what? Yeah, that's just not a thing people think of. For his respect and admiration, I'd happily sacrifice anything and anyone. Oh, even Sayaka? Yeah, it's definitely too dangerous to send Kibiki and Taguchi to Heavenly Host by themselves. I'll have to make sure I go with them. I tucked Kibiki in and returned to my room. Realizing he'd still be asleep when I left for school, I decided to write him a note. Just as I was concerned for him, Kibiki was worried about putting me in danger as well, stating his prior intent to go to Heavenly Host with Taguchi instead. I was so flattered by his consideration that I just didn't have the heart to lecture him about how ludicrously bad an idea that was. Let's see, to my dear mentor. Time is now 11 in the morning. Here's the latest news of the day. The body of a schoolgirl was discovered in the plaza near the escalators at the southeast exit to Tokyo's Shinjuku Station. Good morning, Naho. I wanted to talk to you about that Tenjin urban legend you found. I really think it may be a bit too dangerous to bring you along, so Taguchi and I should probably go by ourselves. She's not here. Well, come to think of it, she did say she'd be going to school today, which is rather unlike her. We actually saw this in an extra scene in the Corpse Party game that was re-released on PS4 recently. As usual, everything's in perfect order in this room. Like night and day compared to my study. What's this, a note? To my dear mentor, for you, I'll go to any lengths. Based on my findings from old Tenjin Town records, I feel more confident that it is possible to return from the school using the escape plan we discussed. but you and Taguchi don't have the ability to resist spirits like I do. It would be far too dangerous in there for just the two of you. So when I get home from school today, I'll be joining you in performing the charm of Sachiko Shinozaki. I don't hold out much hope for our success, but if it works, you're seriously going to get the scoop to end all scoops. If I can help make lightning strike a third time for you with your editorial department, then you totally owe me dinner. Naho. Thank you, Naho. But I really can't allow you to put yourself in danger like that. I know the escape plan, and I'm going with trusty old Taguchi, and you're going to wait here for us. I guess I should write her a note to that effect. Good morning, Mr. Kibiki. Are you awake? Well, he's full of spirit today. Perfect, then. Let's not waste any more time. Oh! Very bad. I went to school as soon as I finished my morning recording session. By then, it was already lunchtime, and Naho had skipped class as usual. But I knew where to find her. Work may have kept her out of school most of the time, but when she did come, there was one spot she always chose for lunch. She liked to get away from the noisy classrooms to eat in peace, and I knew this because, well, I did too. This was just her spot. This wasn't just her spot, but mine as well. We'd probably get in trouble if a teacher ever found us there, though. See, the lock on the door leading to the school roof just happened to be broken, so... what a nice breeze. And that sunlight, too. Absolutely magical. There was a fence between the buildings to prevent students from falling, but it wasn't very high, so getting over it was a fairly simple task. Alley-oop! Why is there such a panty shot? Why? I crossed the gap, mindful of any stray gusts of wind. The best shade was on that side, so as long as I didn't look down, it was well worth the effort. And there she is. Oh, Naho! As expected, she was nestled right into her usual spot. The sight was positively picturesque. A high school girl all tucked away on the school roof, nose buried in a book with a nondescript paper dust jacket. I swear you could just paint any moment of this girl's life and it would make a fine portrait. Sayaka! Sayaka! Hey there. Sorry to keep you out so late last night. Hope your family wasn't mad at you or anything. Nope, no problems at all. They were A-okay with it. Oh, seems you've trained them well. What are you implying? So hey, that book from Mr. Kibiki you lent me yesterday? Freaking amazing! Right? Didn't it just totally suck you in? I love how it goes on and on with the psychological descriptions of the first murder scene. That protagonist is totally nutso. Yeah, I wish I hadn't been reading it in bits and pieces during my work commute, though. Kind of took away from the tension, but I can't wait to read more. Yeah, just keep at it. It's gonna blow your mind. Oh yeah, and that Twinkle City you lent me? To die for, seriously. Really? Awesome. I bet you recognize a bunch of those songs from the concert, right? You should check out some of their music videos sometime, too. Maybe I've got one on my phone I can show you now. Nope. Guess not. I'll have to give you a rain check on that. I wonder if there are any good fan-made ones. Ooh, good call if there are. I totally want to see. Ah, the bell. 1 o'clock already. Well, I've got an appointment I can't miss, I'm afraid. Guess I'll see you after school for recording. It's at 5:30 in East Shinjuku, so we should probably meet at 4 behind the school gate. Okay. See you behind the gate. Really? What are you, 5? Naho was cool as a cucumber, just like always. Today's recording was sure to be a blast. one's persistent, I'll give her that. Blood? Really? Is this curse honestly affecting me all the way down to the cellular level? Seriously, how long are you planning on haunting me? Oh. So, if I'm correct on this, she said that she went to the Shinozaki estate. So that would mean that something to do with Heavenly Host has been affecting her for a while, which is probably why she was more susceptible to, like, you know, being darkened than other people when she went there. That makes sense. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's installment of Sayaka Oe's Love Braver. The night don't start till I pour out my heart. So let's get pouring, shall we? You'll never guess where I went today. I went to school! To meet with a friend, actually. It was the first time in a while I could just kick back and relax. We talked forever. Like, forever! But of course, the real reason I went was to learn stuff and junk. Of course. They're laughing at me in the control booth? What's going on in there, fellas? Huh? The thought of Miss Oe actually going to school is hilarious. Hey, come on! I go to school! I do! I'm a high school student just like everyone else my age. Don't laugh. Trying to say I'm too old? Too cool for school? Seriously, stop it. You're gonna give me a complex. Some days you just can't win, you know? All I wanted to do was say how great school is, and look what happened. I'm a laughingstock. Well, I'm glad you guys are having fun at least. Let's enjoy our half hour together tonight to the fullest. Braver! Sayaka's on-air personality was incredible. I was absolutely listening to a pro at work, and she had me hooked from the moment the show began. Okay, that wraps up the intro, Miss Sainoki. Please head into the booth. On my way. It was my turn as a guest speaker. When I entered the recording booth, Sayaka sat facing her mic and waved me over. Hey, you girlfriend! I returned Sayaka's cheery smile and sat myself in front of the guest mic that had been prepared for me. Looks like it's a double-sided mic, actually. That way two people record with the same one. Interesting. Something felt wrong. Very, very wrong. Oh! Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh, no, 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 no. She has no eye! I am terrified. What's the matter? It's nothing. I just felt dizzy for a second. Well, the camera's on you now, so wear your cutest face, okay? Roger that. This child was the daughter mentioned in my research on the Shinozaki family. This was Sachiko. She was the one who attached herself to me. Oh my god, oh shit, Sachiko herself attached to Naho? No wonder shit went bad for Naho! Oh my fucking god! Her eyes were black and hollow with no discernible pupils at all. She was utterly motionless, but I knew she was watching me, waiting, biding her time. My hair stood on end, blood rushed to my head, and bile surged into my throat. The Shinozaki curse was far too powerful. I couldn't suppress it. And it was clear Sayaka couldn't see her. This was bad. I had to be careful not to let Sachiko interfere with the recording. Okay, we're back. Start with the listener mail. Alright, folks, it's the moment you've all been waiting for. The topic of this week's Try to Do a Thing workshop is... Ooh, can I go home now, please? What do you mean, no? Come on, be a sport. Guess there's nothing I can do about it. This week's topic is... That's right, try to tell a scary story. Yikes. Man, I told you all I didn't want to do this one, so why did you guys send in so many responses? We actually received a record amount. Far too many to tackle by myself, so I've invited a guest to help me out. Hey, don't run the applause yet. I haven't even said who it is. Or has everyone already guessed? Because it's totally who you think it is. The pro with the know-how. Spirit investigator extraordinaire, as beautiful as she is brainy. It's high school paranormalist Naho Sayaka. Give it up for Naho! Good evening. Thanks so much for coming. No, thank you. It's an honor to have been invited. Oh. How about that, everyone? So mellow, so modest. Isn't she just the bee's knees? Naho and I actually go to the same school. We're even in the same class. Isn't that right? We hang out a lot, in fact. Some of you clearly know that and have been outright demanding that Naho make a guest appearance for quite some time now. Well, your wish is my command. My pleasure, in fact. I think I may be more thrilled to have her here than you guys. Anyway, given today's theme, Naho seemed the perfect guest. So, care to get us started with some choice words for any evil spirits that may be listening? Oh, no. No. Oh, no. Tremble on the border between this life and the next, under my 7 stars. That's what I'm talking about. The ghosties have got to be shivering in their ethereal booties after hearing something like that. And I just imagine Sachiko in the corner, just staring at her, just like slowly, like twisting her neck, like, dear God. So let's get right to the listener letters, shall we? Here's a scary story from one Junpei Nagi of M City in Tokyo. She's still there just staring! Somehow that's worse! In my experience, adverse spiritual manifestations from my research have always been easy enough to keep at bay with my powers, but this one was different. For this energy to be completely visible in broad daylight, I'd never seen anything like it. Yeah, pretty bad. I mean, like, it really goes to show, like, how much of a fucking grudge Sachiko had against, her murderers. This is bad. My head was splitting. But the cameras were rolling, so to speak, so I had to at least keep myself from coughing up blood again. Naho was grabbing her skirt tightly with both hands, muscles completely rigid. My, was she actually getting nervous? How unlike her. Oh god, now to Sayaka's point of view, she has no fucking clue. I kind of grinned internally a bit at the sight of Naho acting all girly and scared. It was adorable. It was adorable. That is not a word! Is that a word? Hold on!
A few moments later.
It is in fact not a word, I had to double check. It was adorable, as I like to say. Okay, that's just a made-up word. Got it now. But I still had a show to host. Thunk! I slid the door open, and there before me I saw a pair of eyes staring intently right into my very soul. Wow, that is so super freaky. How about it, Naho? This has got to be fake, right? Mr. Mizuno of Kyoto is just pulling our leg, right? He may be, but with only this evidence to go on, it's hard to judge the authenticity of the claim. So what you're saying is it might actually be real? That is a possibility, yes. Oh no, please. Actually, I've noticed something even more frightening since this segment began. No, your focus keeps drifting over to the corners of the booth. Oh, no. Well, don't tell me there's somebody there. Is there? Oh, I'm getting chills. Do we have another guest with us today? An uninvited one? Please say no! No. We're fine. This seemed a perfect twist to up the tension of this segment. The look in Naho's face suggested I may have been onto something, which was terrifying. Her guest spot on this show may have just been fun and games, but I knew Naho was as well versed in spiritual matters as they come. This gave her a great deal of confidence,
But unbeknownst to me, that confidence was beginning to unravel all around her. She was in way over her head, and by the time she would come to realize this, it would be too late, and not just for her. Great work, everyone! That's a wrap! Huh. Interesting seeing Sayaka from this angle. The recording ended without incident, as far as anybody knew. Sayaka tossed a piece of chocolate into her mouth that she seemed to have brought with her. She was as casual and relaxed as could be. So out with it. Did you see something in the booth or not? No, I didn't see anything. I glanced back into the recording booth. Sachiko's spirit had disappeared a little while ago. I felt it was best to act as if nothing had happened, and successfully managed to steer the topic of conversation elsewhere until... What the... What's wrong? Was someone talking out there during the recording? No way any of us would make a rookie mistake like that. Wouldn't be able to hear us from inside the booth anyway. There's something on the tape, though. Sounds like a voice to me. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no! Huh? Where? Here, during this exchange.
Mr. Mizuno of Kyoto is pulling our leg, right? He may be, but with only this evidence to go on...
I'm only hearing those two. You don't hear a third voice?
Mr. Mizuno of Kyoto is just pulling our leg, right?
Right there, after Miss Seinoki says he may be.
Pulling our leg, right? There is a voice. It's saying, I'm watching you, right?
Oh, like, I have voices turned off, so I wonder. Hold on.
そうですね。これだけの事例証拠では。
Oh my god, I can hear it. Like, I have headphones on, I could barely hear a voice in the background.
そうですね。これだけの事例証拠では。ご冗談を。そうですね。これだけの事例証拠では。
Oh my god, like, I barely picked up on it with my headphones. Oh my god. Jesus Christ, it was so tiny, but I barely heard it, yes.
It says, I'm watching you, right?
Okay, okay, we gotta turn voices back on for just a little bit here to hear this.
そうですね。これだ。そうですね。これだ。
Oh my god, yeah, you can hear it! Oh! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh! Oh my god! You've got to be kidding me! It's in the recording for sure. Oh, that's so creepy. Is this for real? An actual EVP? Ugh. Hey, what's going on? Hey, what's the matter? Pull yourself together! Suddenly, the director began to clutch his throat and thrash around. His face was bright red. His mouth frothed over as he struggled to breathe. Hold him down! He's gonna knock everything over and hurt himself! Yes, sir! Is it over? Was that some kind of seizure? Crap, he's not breathing! What? God. Call an ambulance quickly, he needs CPR! Okay. Come on, keep it together, man.
hell's going on? Send the guest home. We're done! Sayaka's usual smiling countenance had been replaced by a thin mouth and a cold sweat. There was no doubt about it. This was the influence of that spirit. It must have been absolutely terrifying for her co-workers who'd never had contact with the spirit world before, or regretted appearing on the program. Yeah. I'm so sorry. I guess I shouldn't have come. Oh, don't be silly. You did great. Yeah, even though a man died. They managed to resuscitate the director, too, at the hospital. Oh, okay, so he didn't die. Okay. Little better, little better. And we can cut out the voice for the broadcast, but honestly, I say we leave it. I mean, it's kind of a lucky break when you think about it. It is not. That is decidedly not what that is. That is not what that is. That is bad. That is very bad. Sayaka, no! Why are all people named Sayaka doomed for sadness? I'm really grateful for your help today. I owe you one, so if there's anything I can do for you, just let me know. Oh, and as for Quilfenon, how's next week sound? On the way home, Naho finally smiled, glad to see she still had it in her. I needed to put on a happy face myself, too. I was afraid if I seemed too gloomy, it would bring Naho down. She hadn't done anything wrong. I had to let her know how grateful I was, and try to bring her spirits back up. The two of us parted ways on a corner near our houses, as I needed to stop at the convenience store for groceries. Oh boy, and guys, we are at time for this particular episode. So, thank you, everybody, so much for watching. Oh my god, just fuck. Sachiko's influence is pretty powerful. Like, I thought she only had power within the confines of the school itself, but apparently she got herself somehow attached to Naho before Naho even went in there. It explains why Naho is the way she is in the school itself. She'd been affected by this for a long time. It seeped into her. So yeah, damn, that sucks. But either way, thanks again, everybody. And, as always, if you enjoyed this as much as I did, you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe it if you're not already. Ring that bell for all them notifications is. And until next time, have yourselves a beautiful day, my beautiful, beautiful viewers.